Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
Ephus.
1, 2, 3, 4 Ephus trading cards.
The bit
Got it out of the
progresses.
way earlier. Hi. Welcome back to Bomb Squad Matinee. I'm your host, the Master Ceremony, Tanner Richard Craft, and with me I have...
Hi, I'm Breed Richards.
I'm Cody, and they gave me the wrong fucking poster, but we're working with it.
Blue and white, baby. That counts.
Similar concept.
I heard that movie stars Rihanna. Is that true?
Rihanna is Smurfette.
And it has a John Bellion song in it.
Zendaya's Michi.
Hi, I'm Joseph Brennick, and much like one of the actors who played The Thing, my relationship status, chickless.
Ha! Worth it!
We have a special guest.
I thought of that as right before we were recording. I had to do it.
And unfortunately, we have a special guest joining us again.
Hi, it's me, David Cornsweat.
You are not David Cornsweat. We're talking about the Fantastic Four First Steps, but before we get into our overall thoughts on the newest Marvel movie, the newest Fantastic Four movie, I'm curious to hear about our history with the Fantastic Four. We're going to start with a man that surely has a long, storied, comic-rich history with the Fantastic. He already is grinning because he knows I'm building him up. Cody, what's your history with the Fantastic Four?
Honestly, I could just repeat my answer for the Superman episode word for word, line for line, and it's gonna be the same thing.
Bar for bar?
Fantastic Four has just always been there. I've always known them. It's not like they've been doing much for the last 10 fucking years, so it's not like I had much to work with, but hey, they've always been there. I will say, though, honestly, it's mainly their villains that have been more in the spotlight than the main four themselves, because they have a very good villain roster. But we'll save that thoughts for later. So, I mean, yeah, I don't got much, man.
Good answer. Good answer. Joe, someone who actually does have a comic book history. What's your history with the Fantastic Four?
Yeah, Cody mentioned a good villain roster. A villain roster so good that, man, oh man, most of their villains have not fought the Fantastic Four in the MCU.
True.
Funnily enough. Anyway, I do have a history with the Fantastic Four, and it's been a very interesting history. Because I knew these guys growing up. I read their comics, and they were very much comics that they're all ages comics, but let's be real, they appeal a little bit more to children. And as a child, I definitely liked the Fantastic Four. I was like maybe I'd say I was the right age when the 2005 movie came out. I was like 10, like 9 years old when that movie came out. Not necessarily a great movie. I wouldn't even go as far as to call it a good movie. It's fine for what it is. It's much more entertaining when you watch it on edibles, solely because of how excessive the action scenes are. Like, I shit you not, I had to pause the movie while high because I needed to fucking breathe in the climax of the movie, because I laughed so goddamn hard when Dr. Doom tackles the Thing off of a building. I'm starting to laugh now because I'm just like, firstly, this shouldn't happen, and then they just go flying. Like, the wire work in those movies is fucking nuts. And then I had to pause the movie again because the Thing picked up a car and just like hurled it at Dr. Doom. It's kind of fucking nuts.
I gotta rewatch them.
They're fine for what they are. Not so much the 2015 movie. That one is kind of awful. When I was a teenager, I tried to distance myself from the Fantastic Four as much as possible, because when you're an angsty teenager who reads Hellboy comics, you're just like, ugh, these guys are lame. Ew, get that kid shit away from me. They're relics of the 60s. We don't want it. And then I became an adult, and then I discovered that I love like simple little things. It's why I kind of got a much bigger appreciation for Superman later in life. Can say the same thing about the Fantastic Four. They're fun, goofy little adventures, and there's a lot more that people don't seem to like realize about the characters that makes them special. And I honestly kind of hope that this movie would do the same, would actually make the people who thought they weren't special realize why they're special. My thoughts on that, well, we'll get to that later. Tanner, I'm going to pass it back to you.
I will say that I have seen a lot of newfound appreciation for the Fantastic Four since this movie came out.
As one did.
Yeah. All great stuff. Austin, what's your history of the Fantastic Four?
See, I'm built different. I don't give a shit about the Fantastic Four. Okay, I saw both of the 20th Century Fox movies growing up, and they mostly served as a vehicle for delivering pictures of half-naked Jessica Alba in my field of vision, similar to Sin City and Good Luck Chuck, now available from the Criterion Collection. That's right! I don't have any fucking childhood memories reading the comics. I don't feel anything in my bones when somebody decides to adapt this fucking IP. Just like Earth 616, the regular MCU setting until now, I have no history with the Fantastic Four. Back to you, Tanner.
I never get over your intros. They're so good.
Good answer. Good answer. James, I don't give a shit. Moving on to me. No, I'm kidding. James, go ahead.
No, you lost
James,
me.
speak. Okay.
All right. Okay. This is gonna be the longest one. I'm gonna try to make it short. My tier list is Spider-Man, Superman, Fantastic Four as a child. I grew up on just Superman being a thing, which is why I wanted to be on the last episode. And then Spider-Man was obviously my entire personality. Fantastic Four, however, was like my team. There's X-Men, there's Avengers. Mine was Fantastic Four. I fucking loved the Fantastic Four growing up. The movies. And then I knew the characters besides the movies. So my interpretation of the Fantastic Four is the 2004, 5?
2005, yeah.
2005 and 2007.
7. I knew 7 because I'll say that story in a second. But yeah, these were my favorite. It was just my favorite characters. Like when I first got, I was a DC boy as a little baby boy, and then once I gained knowledge, I liked Marvel a little bit more as far as just the movies. I don't know, they just felt more thrilling to me. And yeah, Fantastic Four was big to me growing up. It was I always wanted, after that those movies ended and they started doing like the shared universe stuff, I was always wondering when they bring the Fantastic Four. When they did Fan Four Stick, I remember I was with my friend Matt. What? I was with
Fan
my
Four
friend.
Stick is funny.
Okay, not as funny as the Fortnite foreskins, but
We were late for you, and this is how you repay us?
I love you guys so much. Thank you. I meant to say thank you guys for joining late. But anyway, I just worked the whole shift. Leave me alone. The Fan Four Stick. There was I was. I went to see it with my friend Matt Grossman, and it was just, I was so disappointed. I remember he wanted to watch like a new Rockstar's like Emergency Awesome at the time when he wasn't awful breakdown of it, and I didn't care. Like I wanted these characters I loved so much as a kid to be good again. And when I heard about this movie, I was really excited. I don't know if it's gonna be one of the topics, but I was not excited about the casting. Let's get into that later. Going into it, I felt like this was gonna be my movie again. I felt like we are back to the core Fantastic Four I remembered. But we'll get into it. We'll get into that. But I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
Nice restraint.
Back to you, Tanner.
My time to shine. Hello. All right. So with the Fantastic Four, I have to admit that this wasn't a character, or these weren't characters. I liked them as kids a fair bit, but they weren't like one of my favorites as a kid. As far as the teams go, I was more of an X-Men kid, but that was mostly because my father was an X-Men kid. I got some of his old comic books. the few that his mom didn't throw away. And I used to read those X-Men comics a lot. Shout out the Uncanny X-Men. But I mean, I knew about the Fantastic Four. I watched those 05, 07 movies quite a bit as a kid. They are the most before the Avengers movies. They were the most prevalent Marvel team aside from the X-Men. They were in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, which a lot of my knowledge of Marvel comics comes from those games.
Yes.
A lot of the context I have for those characters come from those games, specifically the first one more than anything. I like the Fantastic Four a lot. But as I became a teenager, and I've talked about this last week, and how I started going back and reading all these old comic books, I read a lot of Silver Age stuff. And if you want to talk about like the peak of Silver Age comics, what Stan Lee and Jack Kirby did with those first 112 issues of the Fantastic Four is incredible. They were introducing crazy, awesome new shit every week. Every issue would be this giant, awesome, amazing adventure. Like, dude, the Kree, which is an important part of the Marvel Universe nowadays, was introduced in issue 65 of the Fantastic Four. Adam Warlock and his species and everything was introduced in Fantastic Four number 66. Ulysses Kralaw, who is now known as a Black Panther villain, that was introduced through the Fantastic Four. The Skrulls, King the Conqueror, Molecule Man, Maximus the Mad, Galactus. So much of the Marvel Universe was founded upon the Fantastic Four. That's where Namor came back originally. That's where Wakanda basically got created. A lot of the stuff that later would become the larger Marvel Universe originated in those first 112 issues of the Fantastic Four that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby worked on. And obviously Stan Lee was an important part of it, but I always thought the Fantastic Four was more of Jack Kirby's baby. Jack Kirby was always more of the sci-fi, Star Trek-y kind of guy. And the Fantastic Four comics, especially at that time, really leaned into that. And I love all that stuff. That's some of my favorite Silver Age comic book stuff. Obviously, I liked those movies as a kid. I rewatched them later after reading those Silver Age comic book stories, and I really do not like the first Fantastic Four movie with Chris Evans, Jessica Alba. I'm really not fond of that one. I do like Rise of the Silver Surfer a bit. I like that one a lot. And then leading up to the release of Fantastic Four First Steps, I watched the 90s movie for the first time. In this really, the only version, it used to be that you could watch the whole movie on YouTube normally, but now the only version on YouTube is like weirdly upscaled into not quite 4K. I don't know what resolution it is, and some scenes play at a different frame rate than they were filmed at. Don't know what was up with that. Either way, I found that I really enjoyed it, and it, honestly, I don't get all the bad reviews. I mean, yeah, it was filmed for a ham sandwich and a dream, but they made a lot out of their budget. I really liked the writing. I really liked the cast. It was probably my favorite Fantastic Four movie. I think I liked it even more than Rise of the Silver Surfer. However, in this rewatch, that was the first... there were two Fantastic Four movies I had never seen, because I had never seen Fan Four.
Don't do it, Tanner.
Josh Train's Fantastic Four. I watched it, and I think it's really funny that clobbering time became a phrase issued by his abusive older brother before he started beating the shit out of him. But what makes that even funnier is that the abusive older brother is played by Chet fucking Hanks. That's right. Tom Hanks' white boy summer son beats the shit out of Ben Grimm.
I didn't want this to be brought up.
Well, it was happening. Cody knew the Chet Hanks knowledge. He was afraid. He was afraid of the larger public becoming aware, because when I said that in the group chat, Joe did not know that shit. And Joe is the only other person I knew who watched it.
I've unfortunately seen that movie twice, and I did not realize that was Chet Hanks.
That's Chet fucking Hanks in one of his rare acting performances. It's insane. There was another crazy casting in that movie. I thought, oh yeah, Dan Castellaneta, aka Homer fucking Simpson, plays a teacher. The world's worst teacher, by the way. Wow, you teleported that into another universe? This is bullshit. Kill yourself, Reed Richards.
He said that word for word.
Literally, word for word. And then fucking Mr. Ribs guy from House of Cards comes up and he's like, hello, back to the building. Here's $1 million. We want you to make bigger teleporting.
Mr. Ribs guy!
But that's what he was.
It's true. That was his character name.
Holy shit.
Good summary.
Wait, Tim Blake Nelson's in this movie? Who the fuck did Tim Blake Nelson play?
He
played
technically
Brainiac.
played the Mole Man.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
Mole Man.
because that's who his character's supposed to be.
And he gets like brain fucked by Doom.
Doom's got Akira powers in that one, right? Like he explodes people's heads?
Yeah.
He's just God.
A movie so bad that it put Josh Trank in permanent director's jail. Well, not because it was bad, but because the day the movie came out, he said, this movie sucks and it's not the one I made.
And then it was so funny. Like 10 years
Was he, like,
later,
also-
just when we were kind of getting hope that, you know what, maybe he can try again, he gets into a fight with a kid on Letterboxd and threatens to beat the shit out of him. And
The top review of Fan Four Stick is by Josh Trank on Letterboxd. The top review is by him, and it's basically him saying, I think there's a good movie in there. The movie I made. All right, buddy.
I'm looking this up right now.
No, I shit you not. You go to Letterboxd, top review is written by Josh fucking Trank himself. And it's him saying, like, this is my first time watching it not under the influence of drugs.
Holy shit!
He said that?
Something like that.
Anyway, about this new one.
Yeah,
The new one. What did we think about it?
Use this time to rejoice and celebrate, for your time is short. I herald his beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactus.
While James looks up Josh Trank's review of Fan Four Stick, we're going to get to the real nitty gritty. The person who I know hates this movie. He doesn't hate it. He just thinks it's whatever. Joe Vrenick. What do you think of Fantastic? See, James. I told you, James. Sorry, Joe. What did you think of Fantastic Four First Steps?
Man, oh man. Did they have to make the remake of the SpongeBob episode where they fight the Alaskan bullworm like over an hour and a half? That is literally all I could think about the entire time I was watching it, because I realized, wait a minute, this is basically the Alaskan bullworm plot from SpongeBob.
Which, to be fair, is really Kirby, I think. I think it's really Kirby. Jack Kirby, that is. I think that's a very Jack Kirby plot.
I shit you not. Literally, Reed Richards' plan is we should take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else.
Over here.
Big brain.
It's like, he saw him. He was big. He was all technology. And he ate everything.
And purple.
He's big, scary, and purple. Yeah, that was my biggest thought the whole fucking movie was, man, oh man, why did they remake an episode of SpongeBob for this? Because the rest of the movie is just kind of unremarkable to me. Which I should not be saying about, like, not just a Fantastic Four movie, but a Fantastic Four movie that's based on the story of the coming of Galactus. I think my biggest issue, in particular with why I feel that way, I feel like this should have been the third movie in a trilogy. You don't jump out the gate with a new Fantastic Four
I can feel
and
that.
you do the Galactus story. That's just my opinion. And I think that's why it just kind of dropped the ball, because this should have felt much bigger and much more grand scale than it actually ended up being. And I just really didn't care, which is very disappointing. And I think part of it is because I just need to get used to this new team and get to know this new version of the Fantastic Four before I can care about something so big and grand as the coming of Galactus. I'll say this. It thankfully has, for the most part, a very streamlined plot, because going into this, I kind of feared that it was going to be all of the Fantastic Four's, like, best stories from the comics all in one movie, and it's like the Fantastic Four's greatest hits and also the coming of Galactus. Thankfully, they didn't do it, at least not in the way I thought they were going to do it. But man, oh man, they just kind of brushed through their history, like, really fast in the beginning. And I'm like, man, oh man, I honestly think the Mole Man could have made for a much more interesting first movie for the Fantastic Four, because I want to get to know this guy. They got a good actor to play him, and he shows up in it. Paul Walter Hauser. There's a bomb in Centennial Park. That guy. And he's pretty good in the role. This could have been a great way to introduce the Fantastic Four. Have him fight him. They mentioned the John Malkovich character that doesn't fucking show up in this movie, but they fight his monkey. He could have been a good villain to start off with. I don't know. It is very okay, and this movie should not have been just okay. And I wonder if part of it too, and it's just kind of something I've been reflecting on, looking back at all the comic book movies that have come out this year, and just remembering my feelings about Deadpool and Wolverine. I think I am just fucking done with comic book movies. I think Deadpool and Wolverine really was the end point for me. It was, I'm done. I don't need any of these stories again. I can just move on with my life. Like, this is it. And yeah, I was just like, I should be excited for this, but I'm just not, and I just don't care. I don't know. At least the casting was fine for the most part. Yeah, I'll probably talk more about it later, but back to you, Tanner.
Like 7 out of 10?
Maybe a 6.
He gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Thanks.
Which is basically what I gave Thunderbolts and Captain America. And I have significantly forgotten everything about those movies, and I have significantly soured on Thunderbolts since, because I learned about the comic book story that the Thunderbolts started off with, and I'm like, man, we really could have gotten a great movie, but we didn't. That movie's significantly worse now as a result. But that's just me. Back to you, Tanner.
What?
Yeah,
Joe lives in the darkness to hide his shame.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So this is what my Superman review sounds like to everyone else. I get it now.
James is just saying schizophrenic nonsense. Great work, James. All right. Cody, save us. What did you think of the movie?
Oh, you want me to go right into the kennel? Boy. I really like this movie. I like it a lot. Now, I might be suckered into it just because it has retrofuturism, and I am a slut, an absolute whore for retrofuturism. But it's done really but it's done really well, because not only is everything really well designed, but a lot of it is practical. It's real. They're actually interacting with it. They're doing that a lot more with this movie, and I really like that. As someone who doesn't know a lot about Fantastic Four going in, I felt like it was an easy to follow story with a lot of crazy shit happening and a lot of great highlights. Galactus is a fucking character and not a giant fucking cloud. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! And he looks fan-fucking-tastic. I know, throwing the fantastic word out the gate. I know. He looks so great. His scale is phenomenal.
Say that again?
His suit looks excellent. I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of characters like Galactus and Unicron. Dude, when his ship comes to Earth, that's a Unicron shot right there, bro. That's the most Unicron thing I've seen in the last 5 years, and he was in a movie 2 years ago. I know. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to love this movie. Like, I was like, okay, because, like, you know, it's Fantastic Four. They have such a bad track record in the movie, so it's like, I expected this to be okay, but, like, I don't know. Everything clicked with me. I liked the four. I liked the Fab Four over here. They had a great dynamic. They're kind of stilted and awkward in a way that feels like like an actual family. Because if you ever been stuck with your family for a long period of time, it's very stilted, it's awkward, but it's earnest. And I think, despite the fact that I don't think they're the best actors, I think they really pull off the Fantastic Four here pretty well. Now, something I want to address, because I feel like it's inevitable for me, because obviously, last episode, I kind of dogged on the Superman movie. And why would I dog on Superman but then love Fantastic Four? After all, they're pretty similar movies, and they're both characters that have gotten... both these movies gotten really high praise as of late, so why do I want? Well, I'm going to bring up my 2 points that I brought with Superman, and I'm going to bring them here. First off, and it kind of goes off of Joe's points, where Superman felt like a movie too. I felt like Fantastic Four jumped into things pretty well and kept things consistent. Because I think the intro, where it just introduced the Fantastic Four, I bought the hype. They introduced them as these characters that, you know, they did the origins, and then they showed them doing hero shit, and I was invested. I'm like, all right, they could do anything. And so that way, when they go off and try to beat Galactus and fail at it, I believe it. I believe they fucked up. I believe it's, like, too great for them, and they have to, like, you know, do something different. I bought the hype, and it dragged me through the movie. Another thing is, unlike the Superman movie, I don't think the movie is trying to be funny all the time. It doesn't stop any beats to try to be funny. The serious moments are allowed to be serious for the most part, and funny quips just kind of happen, like, randomly, just like, you know, on the fly. Johnny's saying funny shit on the fly, so is Ben. They're all saying funny shit on the fly. It feels more natural that way. It doesn't feel like I'm watching, like, a stilted comedy movie with, like, superheroes. It feels like I'm watching a genuine superhero film. I know a lot of people are saying, like with these two movies, that, like, these are, like, comic books, like, jumped off the panel. I really feel like that with the Fantastic Four. It feels like a classic comic just jumped out of the panel and went onto the big screen. And I really, really like this movie. In fact, I like this movie so much, I've done something I never do before. I watched it twice in the theaters. I don't ever watch shit twice in the theaters. And for the record, I've seen fucking shit like Godzilla -1 and Spider-Verse in theaters, and I did not watch them twice in theaters. So, granted, that was circumstance, but I don't know. I have high praise for this movie. I was expecting not a lot, but shit, man. Like, I really like this movie. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. It's definitely not perfect. There's some weird scenes, especially kind of towards the end. It's really weird to tease Invisible Woman being dead when you know her fucking casting is in the Avengers Doomsday movie. Really weird choice, but sure. It's got some problems, and we'll discuss them later. But for now, my conclusion, I like it a lot.
Yeah, good stuff, Cody. Good stuff, Cody. I do want to just briefly touch upon that thing you said at the end with the Sue Def scene going on so long when we know she's in the next movie. That is what I thought at first. But then it reached a point where it was going on long enough, and I went, motherfucker, are they actually killing the Invisible Woman?
I thought, yeah, they went on, like, what's going on?
Because it felt like I was sitting there thinking that we've seen set photos of the other three on Doomsday, but I haven't seen any set photos of Vanessa Kirby on set yet. Those haven't leaked out, so I was sitting here thinking, fuck, that is kind of insane. I don't know if I agree with this, but it's a crazy bold. And then Franklin started crawling on it, and I went,
that good old Franklin.
For a brief second, because like at first I went, nah, she's not dead, but they really hold on that moment for such a long time that Mr. Plugged into the movie news, briefly became convinced that they were doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to James.
That's me.
The nerd. What did you think of the movie?
It's also me. I enjoyed this movie a lot. So I went into it with little to no expectations. I wasn't a fan of the casting at first, of anyone. It was really odd for me. My casting is a lot worse, and it takes place in 2017. But, yeah, the casting right off the bat leave me alone, Tanner. I wasn't a fan of Pedro Pascal, and I still not. I don't like him as Reed. Shoot me.
I'm inclined to agree with you, actually.
His nephews agreed. When his nephews found out he was cast, they went, you? Apparently, like, he's admitted this on the press tour. They're Fantastic Four fans and thought he was shit casting.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't a fan of it, and fucking Eddie Munson, didn't like him either. Wasn't a fan of him. Then I saw the movie, and I was like, yo, okay, I see the vision now. Well, I didn't see the vision, that's a different movie. But I liked it. I liked the choices, but I still don't vibe with Pedro. They took literally everything Cody said, stole words out of my mouth. So I'm trying to navigate around it. But like, I agree with everything you said. To the T. It was perfectly ripped out of a comic book. To a point where like I also watched the beginning and I was like, oh, this is a lot of expedition, but like, it worked. It worked for me. It did also feel like a third movie in a trilogy as well. I do feel that. But I kind of like it. I mean, my favorite scene in the first Fantastic Four movie was them getting their powers, because that's just a cool thing for me. It's like, it's a unique way to get powers. It's not something we've seen 1,000 times. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I don't like the way Fan Four Stick did it, and I don't like. Well, yeah, that's the only other version we got really. But yeah, I wouldn't have cried if I saw that again. But we heard it a little bit. But yeah. No, I again at the end with the baby and the fake death, I also was like, oh shit, are they actually doing this? And then I was like, oh yeah, baby's crawling on her, never mind. And gotta say, I'm glad the baby from Twilight is still getting work.
Stealing my fucking joke. James, you motherfucker. That was my fucking joke. Fuck
that is a
you.
funny bit, honestly, dude. How do you think?
Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it.
I hate you.
Thank you.
James, that's enough. You don't get to talk anymore.
All right.
Let him speak.
No,
let him have his
Austin,
speech.
what did you think of the movie?
James, what were you saying? James?
I was really happy he cut me off because I was running out of steam.
Oh, okay.
I could tell
yeah,
you
it
were
was
spitting.
good. I mean,
I
it felt-
could tell you were spitting blanks there.
I mean, I can take extra time. I got more to say.
No, I can wrap it up. I really ended up. I was watching it and I felt like a John Belly and song reference. I felt like a kid again, and it genuinely made me feel like little sitting watching Fantastic Four for the first time again. Like seeing them use their powers, I was like getting little watery eyes. I'm like, oh, they look great. Oh my god! Like I was like, yes, everything looks great. This is promising. Right at the beginning montage where everything looked like, oh, it was great. And the little Kirby suits. Oh, that was great too. The little flash we saw those. Yeah, it was really. It felt like a Fantastic Four movie. I just don't like Pedro Pascal as Reed. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna tell my jacked up casting. So my casting would have been I'm gonna say Mr. Fantastic for last because everyone's gonna groan. But my dream 2016, if Fan Four Stick never happened, this is my casting around that time. Don't care for the Thing. So maybe Jason Segel, like everyone was saying. I don't really care. Anyone. Human Torch. I wanted prime Zac Efron as Human Torch.
Same.
That rocks.
This is real. And then Invisible Woman, I wanted Diana Agron, Quinn from Glee.
I don't agree, but
What the
okay.
fuck is that?
She was in We Are Number 4, the really bad movie. She was the girl in that. And then for nobody's gonna agree with this. For Mr. Fantastic, I wanted Brandon fucking Ralph.
No, I fucking want
like
that.
No, that's fine.
What?
Yours?
Oh my god! I thought
He'd be
y'all were
good,
gonna
Reed.
actually like take a dump on me, like literally.
No, that helps.
It's not perfect casting, but Brandon Routh could do a good Reed Richards.
Oh, I wanted him so bad for this. He would have been perfect. Swap him out with Pedro, and I think this is a perfectly cast film. I really liked Johnny Storm towards the end of it. I still don't think he looks like Human Torch to me. I always imagined him like kind of like a hotshot jock, and I don't really see Johnny B in that. But you know, they made him a little bit more modern and kind of more relatable. But I kind of
They made him smart like he is in the comics.
Yeah, I
God.
The
kinda wanted-
douchebag thing is more of just a Chris Evans thing. That's not really a
But
comics
I want
thing.
him, but I want him to hit on Maria Cano.
I have some great
Maria,
news,
what is her name?
James. There's a movie called Fantastic Four. It came out in 2005, and you can watch it right now.
But is Maria Canones in it?
Maria Menounos. Jesus
That
Christ,
one.
man. You're
Wait,
killing
Maria
me.
Menounos is in it, yes.
Oh shit! Great, wonderful.
You keep
I'll watch
putting a
it.
K. Where are you getting the K from?
I don't know, bro.
The heel squad lady was in a movie?
Yeah, she's the nurse that he goes skiing with, and then
Oh,
when he
you're really
accidentally
high.
flames on and creates a hot tub, he's like, "Care to join me?"
All set to Sum 41, baby.
I do love
Was
that
it?
Newts is playing in that scene. That's kind of crazy.
Anyway, back to you, Austin.
Austin, please, what are your thoughts on the movie?
So
Tangents galore.
watching this movie reminded me of a thing that happens sometimes. Some people call this being overshadowed by comparison. Some people call it the prestige effect. It's when two films come out roughly around the same time, and one of them highlights what the other movie lacked. Think of how, like, Groundhog Day, it stopped the shit out of 1201 so fucking hard that no one even knows 1201 was a movie. No one remembers that movie. Yeah, it sounds fake, right? It's a real movie! Or like, The Matrix. It 360 no-scope the 13th floor so fucking hard that fucking Slavoj Žižek is the only man alive who knows what the 13th floor is. This happens.
Ross is making shit up, dude.
No, dude,
Jeremy
that's real name.
Piven's in this movie?
Right! Okay, but this, like, this 2025 superhero version of this phenomenon is not nearly as scorched earth as those examples. I do think that in 20 years, people will remember that this movie exists. I just think that Superman accentuated the way we've become kind of conditioned to lowering the bar for superhero films. And maybe without that recent reminder of how good a comic book movie could be, I'd have come back, like, I'd come on here today fucking losing my shit, talking about how we're so back, this is it, MCU is once again in peak form. Because, by modern MCU standards, Fantastic Four: The First Steps, it's kind of hard to take issue with. The main characters are likable, the pacing is rock solid, and the look of the film, pretty fucking stunning. But emotionally, there were several key moments that fell flat for me. Like Superman, this movie has story beats where it attempts to, like, draw you in and make you care about these people. But here, it seemed more like the first draft of an emotionally compelling scene where there's, like, vital elements missing. Like when Sue brings her little baby out to meet the crowd of protesters who want to sacrifice it to Galactus. Or when Johnny reveals that he knows Shalabal's origin story. Or when Pedro complains he has to ruminate on horrible shit so he can find ways to combat evil. I remember being, like, really intrigued when the scene started happening, and then, like, passed right by. Like somebody figured out the skeleton of a scene, but never figured out how to make it hit home. There are other ways that Superman kind of outfoxes this, in my opinion. I think the 5 years time sequence is more memorable than any fight scene in here, and I really like the Galactus fight at the end. The villain isn't even as horrific, which is fucking odd, considering Galactus eats planets, and Lex is just a world-class hater. The side characters, much more appeal in Superman. I was tragically unimpressed with the Underminer, the Mole Man. The list goes on. But
I've always beneath you, but nothing is beneath me!
But like, to stop comparing this to Superman, and stack it up against recent MCU movies, right? This was surprisingly delightful. I gotta get on this. I recommend seeing this movie in IMAX 3D right away.
Yeah, I should have.
I don't care how fucking far you have to drive. Go see it in IMAX 3D. The 3D conversion in this was done by SDFX Studio and C-Cubic. It was so dynamic and fucking pronounced. We have come, like, a fucking very long way with 3D conversion since when we were kids. Remember, like, Clash of the Titans? We are a universe away from that bullshit now. I was grinning like a fucking idiot every time they showed the UN assembly room, courtesy of famous architect Santiago Calatrava. Being inside the wormhole and the black hole from Interstellar in IMAX 3D had me flipping the fuck out, dude. I think it's ballsy as fuck they waited until 4 months before release to drop the Avatar 3 trailer, but the 3D in this was so good! I think Disney was just waiting until they, like, had a chance to get people addicted to the format again. Top marks! It felt like I was experiencing the fucking movie rather than just, like, watching it. I'm not even kidding. And, of course, I'll, like, have some production-related stuff and maybe a few more movie thoughts and general discussion, hopefully. But, like, to wind this all down, Fantastic Four: The First Steps. It's a tightly paced, really charming experience with, like, possibly the best cinematography of any MCU film to date. But it fails to clear the high bar that Superman set 3 weeks ago. Its emotional moments, its side characters, the villain, it felt like a little undercooked by comparison. But see it in IMAX 3D if you can. That format might have been the strongest element of the picture to me. 6.5 out of 10. This gets worse every time I rewatch it. I've seen it 3 times now. Back to you, Tanner.
The
Yeah.
fuck have you seen? Okay.
Weren't expecting that, were you?
I was not. Anyway, I do want to just lightly push back against something you said. And maybe not even push back, just build upon it.
Go.
Which is your point about comparing the villain of this movie to the villain of Superman and how Galactus, I don't know, didn't feel horrifying enough. I think with Galactus, the thing that makes him interesting as a character, and Ralph Ineson and Matt Shackman clearly agree with this, is that he's not necessarily a villain. He's just a force of nature.
Mm-hmm. They say it in the press interviews all the time.
As stupid as... Yeah, and as stupid as, like... Listen, Rise of the Silver Surfer is a much worse movie than this, and turning Galactus into a clown in that movie is stupid, but it does, on some level, convey the force of nature aspect of his character. Again, I definitely prefer this, and I still think that's stupid, but it worked better there than it did in fucking Green Lantern, I thought. My Time to Shine, hello. I fucking loved this movie. This is one of my favorite MCU movies now. This is everything I have ever wanted from a Fantastic Four movie. I remember reading a review that gave the movie like a D+ or something on Rotten Tomatoes. And its critique was that it felt less like a superhero movie and more like a feature-length episode of Star Trek. And I'm gonna be honest, there was not a single review that someone could write of this movie that would make me more excited than reading that.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's awesome. That's what they said.
Yeah. Well, the Fantastic Four is very sci-fi, Silver Age, comic book, Star Trek-y nonsense. That's kind of what I love about them. They are different from your typical superhero comic book affair, at least in the Silver Age, which is clearly what this is taking inspiration from. I was amazed at just how great this movie looks. Beyond the CGI, which again, other than a few, and honestly, it's not even that many questionable shots of the baby, mostly just when Ben is holding the baby.
Yeah,
I found that's when it kind of.
But everything else is just real baby.
At the
Yeah,
start,
I'm just glad the baby from Twilight is
For the most part,
still
it's a
getting
real
work.
baby. That's the thing. For the most part, it's a real baby.
Thank God.
Apparently, it was even a real baby at the end when Franklin was crawling on her, which is crazy.
Wow.
Because I was convinced that was not real, but I
That
don't
means
know.
the clap
Maybe
is genuine. That's great.
So they
Yeah.
did face replacement on the baby, but the baby body was real.
okay, you know what? That
They
makes
used a
sense.
bunch of different babies, and they just face replaced it with the main baby.
So maybe it looks amazing in some scenes because whatever baby they're basing the face off of happened to be in that scene. I don't know. I know they used a bunch of babies. Other than a few questionable CGI things, I loved this. I love this. Because, you know, I say this often that great blockbuster films aren't just the things that give you awesome action or make you laugh a lot with the quips and character interactions. Great blockbusters have these moments that just sort of make your jaw hit the floor. And I would say one of the most stunning sequences I have ever seen in a superhero comic book movie, MCU movie in general, was basically the middle sequence of this movie where the Fantastic Four are being chased by the Silver Surfer, and they try to trick the Silver Surfer going into a black hole while Sue is giving birth. Incredible, astounding, amazing. My jaw was on the floor. I really think Julia Garner's Silver Surfer looks great. I think the effects look fantastic. I see a lot of people think the 2007 think the 2007 version looks better. I don't agree. I do think the 2007 one looks great for its time. Still holds up. There's a lack of detail and depth in that Surfer that is really present here. Like, there are some close-ups of the Silver Surfer in the 2007 movie where I swear to God, I'm like, oh man, that's weird. This cutscene didn't finish rendering. Just because there's like a weird lack of detail. Never the case here.
Yeah. I will real quick say that there's a scene where all the fire reflections from Johnny are going off on the Silver Surfer, and I was just zooming in on all the detail.
It's really impressive.
It
It's
incredible.
seamless.
Yeah.
It's seamless. These moments that are just jaw-dropping. I also noticed that this movie was funny at times in a different way than other MCU movies have been. And I could just tell from top to bottom that it's clear that Feige and Shackman wanted to get this right because they've already fucked this up 3 times. Arguably 4 times if you count the Roger Corman one. That they really needed to get this right. And I think they did. Again, I love this. This is one of my favorite MCU movies. I love the entire cast. I was the most skeptical of Johnny Quinn, but he's the one that really blew me away the most.
You mean Joseph Quinn?
Johnny Sins.
I keep calling him Johnny Quinn. Austin, stop that. You can't say that.
Johnny
That
Quinn
man's a
and Joseph
doctor. Yeah, Joseph Storm. Joseph Quinn.
Well, he was an astronaut.
Is great. I thought he was fantastic, and a large part of that I think Quinn did a great job. You gonna do this every time?
Damn it! I was trying to do it every
time,
time, and I lost it. Thank you so much for catching my speed.
You're gonna do that every goddamn time.
Yep.
You gotta use Marvelous, dude.
God damn you. Hate you. Joseph Quinn is great in this, and not just because his performance is great, but also because this is the first time they've written Johnny correctly. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Chris Evans's portrayal for what it is. I don't like how stupid he is in those movies. I don't like how there's a lot of adaptations that make Johnny Storm out to be a bit idiotic. Yeah, he's a bit of a hothead and a little bit of a maturity problem, but he's smart. For God's sake, they're fucking astronauts. They're all astronauts. They're scientists.
Good point.
Quinn really impressed me. Vanessa Kirby, I thought, was spectacular as the emotional core of the movie. The scene where she delivers that speech about, I can't remember the exact wording, but I believe it was something along the lines of, I will not sacrifice my child for this world, but believe me, I will not sacrifice this world for my child. It got me.
I love that.
That whole speech really got me. Austin was talking about the emotional beats not working, and that's fine. They worked for me. I'm a sucker for family shit, mostly. Ibn Mas Barak was the casting I was most sure of. I was like, yep, that's correct. That's going to be great. And he was great. The Thing's design in this movie feels ripped straight out of a panel of a Jack Kirby comic, and I love it. The CGI is really convincing. Also, apparently, it helps that even though that is not what we see in the movie, but there was someone wearing an on-set version of the costume for every scene he was in, and that helps a lot with the CGI.
So as far as I know, the body was real, the head was replaced for a lot of it.
I doubt the hands were real. They moved too much.
Well, yeah.
I thought he was just in a fractal suit the whole time. That's surprising.
No, he's CG. He's CG.
Yeah.
At least his head is CGI. I know that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
The fractal suit is the mocap suit.
Yeah, and Annabelle Mosbarak, everything behind the scenes is him in a mocap suit. I have not seen him wearing anything else.
Got it.
But again, they had something on set, which means they probably shot a version with the stand-in and then a version with the mocap suit.
They do it for lighting. I'm a former VFX artist. They do
Yeah,
it
no,
for
I
lighting,
know.
but some
I know they
might
do
be
it for
used
lighting,
in
James.
reality.
We all went to film school.
Yeah, but yeah.
I thought Abba Mosbarak was incredible in the role. Really, I think he did great stuff. I loved his voice. I just like the sound of his voice. It kind of made sense coming out of Ben
it was
Grimm.
very wholesome.
I will, and now here I am. I'm gonna go up to bat. Pedro Pascal easily gives the best performance in this movie, and I think you're insane if you think otherwise.
Whoa.
Well, I already knew James was dumb. Joe, I expect better from you.
I love this movie, and even then, I think that's a crazy take.
Well, mostly because there's this scene. There's this one scene that was so Reed Richards to me it hurt, which was the scene when he's talking to Franklin alone and essentially says his greatest fear is if his child turns out to be anything like him.
Yeah.
Because one, that's incredibly Reed Richards coded, and two, there was a lot of stuff in this movie, and there are other people a lot smarter than me that could express this better than I can. I noticed you nodding your head, James. Pedro Pascal's performance of Reed in this movie read to me as a very autistic coded. There was a lot of I found a lot of autistic mannerisms, a lot of autistic behavior, the same kind of like autistic stuff I have, specifically with the way he's like, we want our children to be reflections of ourselves, but I don't want you ending up anything like me. I think about that a lot with having children. I do not want my, this is getting really dark out of nowhere. I do not want my children ending up to be anything like me if I ever have them.
I don't want my children ending up like you either.
True.
Thanks.
All the autistic people on the podcast say nope. Hell no.
Everyone in the comments saying, I also don't want my children to be like Tanner.
Mini Tanner.
I love Pedro Pascal's read. There were certain scenes that just had this really specific, even though the behind the scenes people told him to unfortunately drop the transatlantic accent he was building for the scene, he still like brings a transatlantic vibe to a lot of the scenes I found. I don't know. I was skeptical of Pedro Pascal's read. Even though I love Pedro Pascal, I was skeptical of the casting. And I wound up loving it. I don't, who cares about the facial hair?
I don't like Mr. Fantastic with facial hair. You're supposed to be a rubber man.
Grow up!
You should have bent the mustache. At least once.
Grow up! Who cares if he has facial hair?
He doesn't look like a rubber man.
What the fuck does that mean, James? What is a rubber man supposed to look like?
The original actor.
Michelin tire guy?
Yes!
A rubber
Give
man's
it to
supposed
me!
look like a rubber
The
man.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? What do you want from me?
This is the worst
I want you
episode
to
of
continue,
Bomb
Tanner.
Squad
It's the best episode ever.
I'm sorry, Tim.
I'm so sorry, Tim. I love you, Pookie Bear.
In conclusion, I absolutely adored this movie. It is everything I have ever wanted from a Fantastic Four movie. And yeah, I fucking loved it, and I can't wait to see it again. Honestly, I'm a little struggled to find my thoughts of this movie because fun fact, about hour and a half after I finished, hour and a half, 2 hours after I finished watching this movie, I got into a car accident. My car doesn't work anymore, so I don't have that anymore, and I've been busy dealing with that ever since I got into the movie.
He sends me a picture. I am mid-screening. All I get is a picture of
the movie.
all I do is get a picture of a car.
With photos of the damage.
Holy fuck!
I forgot he was still in the movie.
I quickly looked at my phone. And I would put it down. I went, oh!
Oh, it's just Tanner. Oh my god!
I had to walk out of the theater real quick and send him a voice message.
Like, and his voice message was word for word, idiot. I'm kidding.
No.
Dude.
Hey, well, exactly what I said to him was, I never want to hear another thing about my driving.
I've given James a lot of shit for his driving because I thought I was going to die when he was driving me in New Jersey. But you know what? I didn't. There was no damage to that car. Meanwhile, I had this car for about a month and a half. And it's gone. Anyway, really quickly, I'm not even going to bother going to ad break. Is there anything anyone wants to bring up here really quick? I say we got 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most.
Shit, I'll yap about the editing of this movie. This editing's great. I think the one thing that stuck out to me in this movie was how tight it was and how visually appealing it was. Because I think with a lot of modern movies, you don't really notice the editing, and maybe that's the point for a lot of people. You're not supposed to notice the editing, but I like I like them just fucking around and doing cool shit. Like especially like the boxes framed within frames kind of shit, where they're clearly doing a lot of like quirky 60s ass editing. Like, I just think that's cute. I think it adds a distinct style to this movie that the other MCU movies don't have. I think it adds it, and I'm very glad this movie is nice and tight, under 2 hours. I think most movies, unless they really earn it, should be short. I'm so tired of watching long ass movies. I'm glad this one was like a nice tight 2 hours.
Call this movie tight one more time. See what happens.
Wait, one thing that surprised me was how briefly the title card was on the screen, speaking of the edit.
Fuck!
Oh, true, yeah.
It was up there for like 1.5 seconds, and I love Giacchino's score. I think Michael Giacchino's score needs to be highlighted.
I've been meaning to bring that up. I adored his score so
Oh,
much.
it's so really good. One of the best parts of the movie.
After I saw the Batman, which was by him as well, right? That shit was stuck. The new Rob Pattinson Batman. That fucking thing was stuck in my head for fucking weeks. And this one's been doing the same thing. I'm like doing laundry, doing the fucking theme in my head.
Fantastic Four! I loved the choir decision was a brilliant. I loved the car seat, the headset car rest, whatever.
What?
What's that band?
Headset
Headset car seat headrest. when they're putting the car seat in the bottom and there's like a remix of the Fantastic Four theme of the movie. That was by far the funniest bit of the movie, and I loved how long that was. 3 genius people and they can't figure out a goddamn car seat, and Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm's just standing there like, we're fucked.
That was a good comedic beat.
One thing I gotta bring up, because this is an old Bomb Squad meme, and I gotta bring it up. Because while, yeah, my boy Daniel Day-Lewis could have been a great Galactus, I gotta say this. For the most part, the casting in this is all around pretty stellar. There's a couple of cast members that I think we probably could have replaced, and it would have been
John
better.
Malkovich.
Joseph Quinn.
No, surprisingly not Joseph Quinn. I'll actually bring the 2 that I think are miscast up. Ralph Ineson as Galactus is fucking incredible in this, and he is doing most of the heavy lifting for that character. I think Marvel should be paying for his chiropractic bills, because the writing is kind of ish there. It's not perfect, but he is giving that performance his all, and that is exactly what I expect out of Galactus. Like, he's even doing the comic book faces, which is fucking incredible.
I changed my mind.
What?
I like Galactus.
Joe, do you remember this Galactus line, this hit Galactus line? I need the child. I must get the child. People in my theater legitimately laughed during that scene.
Yeah.
It's just something about those 2
giggled.
lines in tandem. It was really fucking funny.
I'm not gonna lie, whenever he started going like, I need the child, my brain started beaming images of Werner Herzog in The Mandalorian.
Well, you know,
It was like uncontrollable, like I didn't have a choice.
Well, here's the thing. You know, if Daniel Day-Lewis played Galactus,
Here's the thing.
I need your child!
Yeah.
I need the child! You've abandoned your child! You've abandoned your child!
Daniel Day-Lewis Galactus would be kind of awesome, but Ralph Ineson's so perfect.
He is
He's really good.
fucking fantastic.
Say that again.
Yeah, fantastic. That again. We're gonna go back to SpongeBob.
How'd everyone like the mid-credit scene? Post-credit scenes.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to get into
I'm
this.
gonna-
Okay.
I didn't give a shit.
I'll throw my hat in the ring because it confirms something super important. The Very Hungry Caterpillar is canon to the MCU. Let's fucking go, baby! Let's go! Oh
Okay.
yeah, we also see Dr. Boomerang. Cool, yeah.
As someone that is still on the MCU train, more or less, I will say I am still incredibly skeptical of Robert Downey Jr.'s casting of Doctor Doom. I'm still really skeptical of that.
Every time I hear it, it sounds like a pipe dream.
It sounds
worst way.
it's so weird. Admittedly though, I have to admit I don't know what it was about it. The scene did move me. It not move me emotionally, obviously. Just made me go,
Your bowels.
my bowels. I had to take a shit right after. I almost pooped my pants. It was everywhere. The Alamo said, "Get out of here." No,
My take on that
He's
is
rushing
mask
home to
is off.
shit.
I don't give a fuck.
I know you don't, Joe. We, but as I was saying, I don't know. It made me, something about the framing of the scene just made me go, okay, I might be more into this than I thought possible. Well, Austin, what did you think? I didn't hear you.
Oh, I thought the Russo's directed scene from the Thunderbolts was a little bit more like, wow, the delta between like the quality of the director work. Like, I really thought that there was something distinct about the end credit scene in the Thunderbolts. I was like, holy shit, this feels like an Avengers movie. Whereas in here, not so much. Also, I didn't notice the mask he was holding the first time because it cut so quickly. And so when I was rewatching it again and I saw the mask, I was like, wow, why did they cut that so quickly? Same as the opening title card. Or maybe I'm just dumb. Everybody else noticed the mask the first time they saw it?
I noticed it, but
why
I mean,
is
I was
his
looking
mask
for it.
off?
He's holding it. Mask off. Fucking mask off. He's
Why
really
is
holding
his
it to
mask
the
off?
camera.
I'll tell you why. It's because it's multiverse Iron Man. He is Doctor Doom now. I don't think
he's gonna take
I don't believe Kevin Feige. I don't believe that is Victor Von Doom. That is Multiverse Iron Man is Doctor Doom. It's bullshit, and I'm done. Fuck
done.
it.
So here's why Joe
Doom
is like
has been-
wrong about that. It's so obvious that Franklin is manipulating his face to make him look like Tony, but he's not Tony. That's clearly what that scene is doing. It's so obvious.
Oh, of course.
Doom
You
is
notice how
just,
he's touching his face, right? Like, that's clearly what that scene is setting up.
Doctor Doom is just a character they are never gonna fucking get right. I need to live with
Yeah,
that.
I'm very sad about it because Doctor Doom is my favorite villain next to Green Goblin, and like with Defoe, you can't perfect it. We haven't gotten a perfect Doctor Doom, although
He is
rest in peace to
arguably the
homie.
greatest Marvel villain ever, and they
Yeah,
have
I really did
never
like it
gotten
2000
him right. Like,
I do.
imagine
I
if they
grew up-
did that to the fucking Joker. Like, that's
Yeah,
how
you
fucking
know.
disappointing this is.
I get it now. Yeah. Yeah, it's like bringing back if they continue with the Dark Knight universe. If they brought back Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it was like, oh nope, he's the Joker now. It's the same type of thing, I guess. Yeah.
Interesting. Damn. Well, we'll see. See if it all
I will
works.
say, I since both this scene and the Thunderbolts mid-credit scene were both directed by the Russos, I noticed a consistency in the color palette between the two
Yeah.
that is different than their previously directed MCU works,
I'm excited.
in a good way.
They actually have a color palette.
Yeah,
Heyo!
no, exactly. See, we tricked Joe into saying something nice.
That's the only nice.
Ooh,
Well, that's
rats.
one of the two nice things I'll say about the Russo brothers. They can make really good Arrested Development episodes, and they actually chose a color palette for one movie.
It's clear that Doomsday has a distinct color direction, which I am intrigued to see. Because I really liked the way that mid-credit scene in Thunderbolts looked, and I really liked the way... Because, again, I could tell visually, distinctly, right off the bat, that this was different than the last 2 hours I just saw.
Yeah.
I will say that the Doomsday color grading and stuff is gonna be completely changed in post. This is just like footage that they kind of shot before color grading. So they kind of color graded it for these films.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
But
probably
there's
gonna look like
consistency
shit.
between the two scenes, between
Yeah.
the two films, though, is what I'm saying.
They have more ambitious camera moves in the end credit scene, especially in the Thunderbolts. It did feel like the quality of the directing went up.
Let's just wrap this up. Cody, what are your final thoughts on the Fantastic Four?
My final thoughts on the Fantastic Four is that it was really good. I don't know if we're gonna see more of this universe in the future, given whatever the fuck Marvel's planning to do. It's very, who knows? But if this is the one time we'll get to see this universe, I'm glad it was a pretty
Yeah.
good showing. I liked everything about it. I liked the editing, I liked the world building, I liked the characters. Yeah, good movie. I'd let Shalabal fly right through me. That's it.
Hey yo.
Joe, final thoughts on the movie. Go.
You know, as someone who fucking named their cat after a Fantastic Four character, I should have been primed to like really like this movie. But in the end, I was just very underwhelmed, and honestly, I never thought I'd say this. I think the unreleased '94 movie is still better.
Ooh.
But as far as like modern takes in film on the Fantastic Four go, starting from 2005 on, this is as fucking close as we're gonna get, and I've just gotta fucking accept it. It's fine. I didn't care for it. If you liked it, cool. But as a Fantastic Four fan, I don't know. Also, since everyone brought up the Silver Surfer in this a couple of times, I'll say this. Not a Julia Garner fan. I thought she was fine in this. This has not turned me into a Julia Garner fan, though. I still don't think she's that good of an actress. Back to you, Tanner.
Good stuff. Good stuff. James, final thoughts on the movie. Go.
I'm in timeout after this. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said before, I felt like a kid again. It was a good film. You guys definitely pointed out some flaws of it, and I think when I see it again, I'm gonna think of it a little bit less, maybe knock it down a half a star or such. But no, I had a good time with it, and I'm excited to see how they somehow integrate them into the 616. I mean, I think we all have predictions for Secret Wars and whatnot, but I hope they remain somehow in the retro verse, because like I feel like the universe they built was really cool, and it definitely felt the most movie of all the MCU movies as of late. It felt, I don't know, it felt different. It felt like a good, I was going to say good first step, unironically. But yeah, it was a good first step in the right direction. Back to you, Tanner.
Felt very Canada Dry. Austin,
Oh yeah, there
final
was so
thoughts
much
on the
fucking
movie.
product placement in this.
It felt very brisk iced tea to me.
Man, I could sure go for some Little Caesars and a Pop-Tart right now.
The best Fantastic Four movie of all time is still The Incredibles. But this is a respectable second place. Treat it like a Nolan movie, though. Seriously, you need to see this shit in IMAX 3D. Whether it's going to revitalize the MCU, yet to be seen. They might have hit a home run when what they needed was a grand slam. Only time will tell. Back to you, Tanner.
Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I loved this movie. It was everything I've ever wanted from a Fantastic Four movie. I had an absolute blast with it. I just really adored it. Yeah. Great time. It was fantastic.
Say that again?
Yeah!
But you know who else is fantastic?
Who?
You, the person watching / listening to this episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. If you are listening on any of the audio platforms we're on, we really appreciate it. How about you mosey on down below and help and leave us a review? It helps boost us in the algorithm or something. I don't know. I just work here. And if you are listening, how about you mosey on down over to our Patreon, where the $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks, and the $10 tier gets you a shout out at the end of the episode. So my mom, Tanya Craft, thank you so much for contributing to the Patreon.
Tanya, you're fantastic.
And yeah, that's right. And if you haven't given us enough money for whatever reason, you can also buy us some merch. That's right, bombsquadproductions.shop. We got t-shirts, hats, a few other things. I think James is currently running to get his shirt. Yep, he took his headphones off. That confirms it. So I'll just kind of bullshit about the merch store. This is the first episode Cody's been in since he's gotten that shirt where he's not wearing the shirt.
Sorry, guys.
Still in the wash.
It's
he doesn't
like
usually do
midnight.
this many
Give me a fucking
recordings in
break.
a row.
You know, while James goes to get his shirt, can I plug my thing, Tanner?
Oh yeah, just go ahead. If you want to give Joe specifically money.
Yeah, if you want to give me specifically money, I opened up an Etsy shop. It's called 35mm keepsakes, or 35mm keepsakes, all one word. I opened an Etsy shop, and I sell keychains with little 35mm film cells in them now. I've got a couple. I've got a lot on my Etsy shop right now. There's keychains of this preview has been approved for all audiences. There's a couple of studio ones. I've got like the Universal logo. I've also got separate film cells from. And these are all from damaged film trailers. I'm recycling them, putting them to good use. These trailers are no longer playable, but I've got some for Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. I've got some for, I recently put up Scream 3 and James Bond, The World Is Not Enough. There might be some Looper ones coming out very soon, so check those out whenever they come up. But yeah, 35mm keepsakes. That's my Etsy shop. If you want a cool piece of 35mm merch, if you want to give something to your cinephile friend who loves film, if you're a lover of film, go check it out. You can carry a little bit of film with you in your pocket if you're a true cinephile.
These are nice.
Good stuff, good stuff. We killed all that time for James to find his shirt, and he doesn't know where it is.
I knew you were killing time for me!
Well, yes, it's okay. Well, Joe wanted to plug the Etsy shop anyway, but I was definitely killing time for you.
I couldn't find it.
Link in the bio. I'll send it to you.
I think I stole it.
Anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you oh so very much for watching. We really appreciate it. How about you mosey on down over to that comment section below and let me know, what did you think of Fantastic Four: The First Steps? What did you think of the casting of the movie? What did you think of the crazy scene in the middle where she's like giving birth? Are you excited for the future of the Fantastic Four in the MCU? Has the mid-credit scene moved you on Robert Downey Dr. Doom at all? And finally, how great was John Malkovich in this movie? Comment below and let me know. While you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us, and hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you again so very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Tune in next week for something very different when we talk about Wong Kar-wai's definitive 21st century masterpiece, In the Mood for Love. I can't wait for us to lose all the viewers that these James looks confused. James thinks I'm making this movie up. But we're talking about In the Mood for Love, an incredible film. It should be a lot of fun. We'll see you there. All right. Bye.
Bye.
I'm perma-banned.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Hi, Tim M. Sullivan here. Just wanted to make a quick announcement that starting with our next episode of Bomb Squad Matinee, we will be releasing our episodes on Tuesdays at noon. So you'll be catching us just a little bit earlier in the week. Alright, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
I never pass up a chance. I know the story seems long, but when I know the time is right for me and you, I just flame on.